Hai, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Dr. Norhayati Ahmad, representing my other colleagues, Dr. Azharuddin bin Ali and Associate Professor Dr. Rahmi Shafi'i, and we are from University of Utara Malaysia. The topic that I want to present today is unveiling the ripple effects, investigating the influence of financial constraints on university strategy objectives and operational success. This is the content of my presentations, which is I'm going to start with introductions and then problem statement, objective, methodology, findings, and conclusions. Right. Malaysian Ministry of Education, or MOHE, has adopted a Malaysian Education Blueprint 2015 to 2025, which the inspiration is to transform Malaysia's higher education system to meet the new challenge of global education and produce more holistic students. Okay, so technologies, innovations, okay, are encouraged in the learning and teaching process. And the ministry also encourage greater industry participation, right, in teaching as well as research and commercializations. Okay. However, despite of these inspirations, it was found that public nations university is too dependent on the government fund, which is about 75% to 90% as compared to other countries in the world. All right, this dependency has made Malaysians top place in the term of ranking, in terms of the dependency, okay, but however, the outcome, okay, which is we are about 44th place in terms of the output. Okay, so comparing the input and output just now, so government have decided to encourage public universities to be more independent. So what happened is that they have introduced a new funding scheme in which government start to cut the budget to the public universities starting 2017. Right. However, this cut should be foreseeable by public universities, as it is basically in line with National Higher Education Strategies Plan 2007 and also the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2015-2025. Okay, so as for the this is a case study. As for the university that I've chosen, right? Of course, okay, they have their own objective and missions to achieve, and they also want to stand high nationally and internationally. They also set target and aims to be listed in the world top 20. You know, all this ranking in the world, including QS World Ranking, Asia Top 50, SEA Top 50. Want to be Malaysian top 5 university as well as World Top 100 in postgraduate business school. Okay, and this university KRA or key results areas includes research and high impact innovations, high impact teaching and learning, high performance students, exceptional human capital institutions, optimum and strategic work creation, as well as conducive infrastructure and learning environment. Okay. However, with this budget cut from government to all public universities, of course, this university is also included, which is affected as well. So the question is, okay, with this budget cut, right, what are the impact, and would this university can achieve their strategic objective? So our research objective is to investigate the impacts of budget cut to university strategy objectives and its operations. methodology that we use. So basically, this is a case study. So it is interpretivism kind of research, which we apply qualitative research. We use face-to-face interview, and our respondents is university management. We use semi-structured open-ended questions, okay, and then the data is analyzed descriptively and using technical analysis. There are about five important findings from our studies. Okay, number one is in terms of planning and strategizing. Okay, because it's like the respondent says it's like last time, okay, the budget comes in detail, so they know how to basically use the budget for the expenses. So they have a specific budget for specific activities, okay, but now the budget come in lump sum, so they have to basically do the planning based on the amount given. So what happened is that they have to prioritize, and sometimes it's quite difficult because what they are trying to prioritize may incur a lot of money, and they might have more, they might have a few priority, okay, which is sometimes if they choose one or few, they have to let go another few, okay, which is also important for them. Okay, so number two, right, one of the strategies just now, the university strategies is also on human capital. So another important element is about alleviating the capability of the human capital. So in other words, it's through training, but now it's hard to maintain the training, or even some of the expertise they maintain CPD points, for example, those are professionals. Okay, however, now so the trainings may be not seen as the priority. Okay, so so it's hard for them if they choose to go for training and spend a lot of money on that. So they might have to let go or affect other KPIs as well. Right. Beside that, okay, there are possibility of a layoff. Okay, which is maybe those staff which are contract staff, for example, temporary staff, in order to reduce costs, so the service is not extended. And then there are the university also introduced new schemes, especially regarding retired professors, for example, okay, who want to continue giving service. Okay, so the scheme is not as extractive as before. Okay, so same thing, because university want to reduce costs. Right, next one is in terms of quality of education. Okay, there is no doubt, right? Somehow or other, the students will be affected, okay, in terms of the money spent on the activities, okay, the facilities, the teaching and learning approach. For example, it's like, you know, calling for external expertise or invited speakers, for example, okay, those things, or maybe industrial visits, for example. So those things that we need to reduce, okay, because we're reducing the cost. Okay, so somehow or other, you know, these things will impact the image of the university to the eyes of the students. So at the end, it will impact the ranking and all that. Okay, the KPIs or the university wanted to achieve. Next one is in terms of research, innovation, and commercializations with the limited budget, okay, limited fund. So the pre-commercializations activities and intellectual property, IP, will be limited as well. Okay, so university want to encourage commercialization, so they need pre-commercializations fund, okay, for example, but you know, they have to limit that. Okay, so there's also immature research and innovations ecosystem, which at the end discourage research and innovation culture. Okay, the next one is in terms of facility and maintenance. So basically, university have planned many things, okay, in order to improve facility and doing maintenance to the university buildings, for example. Okay, however, these plans have to be postponed, or they have to do it bit by bit, okay, because the facility and maintenance gonna incur a very high cost to the university. Okay, so what happens is that they don't really prioritize that. Okay, last but not least, of course, it will impact academicians. Okay, it will impact basically the KPI of the academicians, right? In terms of their teaching and learning, there are many things that they cannot do if they want to do, that they have to use their own fund, okay, rather than asking for faculties or universities fund, right? Some of their research fund that come from universities is now is limited, for example. Okay, their even the facilities given to them is also limited, so it will impact their teaching and learning as well. So it is important to be remembered that the any negative impact on the KPI of the academicians will also impact the achievement of universities' KPI. So what happened as the conclusion is that with the limited fund or limited resources, I mean financial resources, okay. However, at the same time, university still have to achieve their KPI. So what happened is that they have to set priorities and have to make the right decisions, okay. So they have to think of or find alternative, find solutions, okay, how to reduce the cost, how to allocate and reallocate the resources, okay, based on the importance and priorities just now, all right, so that it still can meet their strategic directions, okay. Whatever decisions made, whatever approach taken, okay, it should be done effectively and efficiently with full integrity, transparency and accountability. And also, university have to think of or find ingenious ways, okay, to overcome the financial constraints, right? So that despite of having these cut or limited resources, okay, their objective and strategies can still be achieved. Okay, so I think that's all from me. So with that, thank you.